Top three things someone should know about starting a podcast.
Hire a producer.
Yeah,
Get Murph.
yeah.
Get you a Murph.
Get you a Murph.
Because if it wasn't for Murph, we would not be doing this. We would not be sitting here today because there is so much shit
On the back
on the
end.
back end that you don't even recognize. Like Zach and I are lucky. We just get to sit here and talk and have a conversation. Yeah, there's some planning on what it is that we're going to talk about, our guests, getting that stuff scheduled. But ultimately, all we do is sit here and talk and come up with ideas on what it is we want to talk about when we're not on the show. Murph edits it, gets it all looking good, cuts up the reels, posts on all the platforms, and has the hard work.
Yeah.
We really
Time
honestly
consuming.
for us it's the 3 hours that we sit here and then maybe an hour outside of this where we're discussing
like scheduling a guest. Like, hey, I just heard this guy. I think he'd be a good guest. Should I reach out to him, see if he'd come on, and stuff like that. Which I don't like see as that as like a difficult thing.
No.
That's an easy because most people, at least that I've experienced so far, are excited to come on.
Yeah.
Like no one there's not been any person I've asked that said no.
Right. Exactly.
So, so that would, hire he said top three things. So, I would say, I don't know if this is kind of a given just because, we've never not done video, but I think doing it and doing video. 'Cause, there's a lot of podcasts out there that are just audio only, which is great. Because that's how most people consume it. But having the video for just all the other purposes, like, all the social media clips. And that's kind of, that's a big piece of it. That's how you kind of market these shows and brand, and kind of brand the show. Cause that's where most people see it is they're going to see like the 1 minute clips that we throw on social media. And that's where most people like see stuff. And then if they like that, they go and try to watch the full episode from there. It's kind of look at it as like a commercial or a trailer for the episode. It's kind of how I see it. So doing video, I would say, is a one thing I definitely think that, if you're debating on doing, like, I think if you have the financial capability and you have ability to, if not edit it yourself, hire someone to edit it, then I definitely think that's something you should do just for all the other aspects. I think it's going to help the show grow more. The third one,
for me, it would be sit down and come up with a game plan on what it is that you're going to talk about.
Yeah, like
have a theme
of the show.
A theme of the show.
Yeah, like
and,
we did.
And stick to it. That would be it's important to make sure that you have that so you're not just doing random shit, Like we know that every week we're going to do 2 episodes. One's going to be a guest. Obviously, every guest is different, but somewhat similar in terms of the fact most of them have been entrepreneurs. But at the same time, they all align with what it is that we're talking about. But that's our thing is we sat down and we what do we want to talk about? Manhood, fatherhood, entrepreneurship, the mentality it takes to be successful. All those things that we talk about at the beginning of the show, those are what we sat down with and came up with as a goal and a game plan. And I feel like we've done a really good job of sticking to that. And just kind of, and then the message that you're wanting about those topics, how you're wanting to portray them. We wanted to be in a positive light. We wanted to stay in a way that made these things, talk about these topics that, some may have a negative connotation, but no, like turn this into something positive. There's enough negativity out there in the world today that we wanted to be a resource and a show for people not to think that way, and so I think that's big. And then this one's up there, and I probably just rattle on shit all day, but be yourself. Like, it's easy. Like, you're not gonna it's gonna show real quick if you're not being yourself.
You can't fake this shit.
You can't fake it. Like, you're gonna be in front of a camera, you're gonna be talking about this, you're gonna be doing the same thing over and over and over and over and over again. You can't try and fake who you are because it's just not. It's gonna show. It's gonna come across, and it's not gonna be authentic.
Yeah.
So
couldn't agree more, man. Yeah. Just and then the other thing, I guess my third piece of it would be you need to be consistent.
Oh, for sure.
That just like anything, if you want anything to be successful, if you want to get a consistent listener base and you want to really, try to grow your show, then you need to be consistent. Like we kind of started out like we're doing 2 episodes a week from the get go. And, and we haven't deviated on that at all. I think the only time this year that we're not going to post episodes is, we just kind of decided, the week of Christmas, we're going to take that week off. And, that'll be the only week of the whole year that we don't put 2 episodes out.
Mhm.
Actually, I don't even think we've communicated that to Murph yet, but, that's just something, you're going to be out of town. I've got a lot of stuff to do with kids and the family and all the things. And so we just decided that, let's just take a week, we can take a little break.
Yep.
It's not like we've got plenty.
Shit,
of-
man, it's a fucking year straight of doing this so far.
Yeah,
Like,
you
I think
know.
next week is a year straight of recording.
Yeah. Yeah. Cause it was like, we had 3 episodes come out before 2024.
Yeah.
Yeah. We released 3 episodes in 2023. So yeah, I would just say you need to be consistent. If you're gonna stick to 1 episode a week, then you better post 1 episode a week and stick to that, religiously. Like that's one thing on this that you and I both are like, we're not gonna miss episodes. Like
No.
we're not gonna fall off because that's I know how shit goes, man. It's a
Right.
slippery slope. Once you start letting shit slide, then then from there on, it's like, oh, maybe the 2 episodes is just so much. Maybe we should just do, it's like,
Right. No.
no, we're doing 2. That's what we're doing. That's what we've been doing for a year. And
Yep.
we're going to stick with that, and eventually, this is something we've, talked about down the line. And, I mean, like right now, I don't think is the time, but like eventually down the line, I'd love to even do more. But
Right.
it's really a time thing for
Right.
us, because I mean, you and I are both very busy. We both, have our businesses and our families and all our extracurricular stuff that we do, like hockey, and baseball, and jujitsu, and CrossFit, and all the things that we
Mhm.
do. And it's just like we gotta keep. It's just right now. As much as I'd love to do another episode a week, I just don't know if we could fit it
Time-wise.
in. It would just be difficult. But down the line, who knows? 6 months, a year from now, if we have the time we feel like we can make it happen, then I would love to do that. Just because I do like look forward to doing this every single time.
Absolutely. And then, I mean, like I said, I think we could rattle off shit going on, but like, if you're gonna do one, I think it's I don't you can I think it's easier when you have a partner that you're doing it with.
Mhm.
Someone that you can give and take and do things with, and you're not just sitting here by yourself having that conversation and trying to come up with ideas on your own. That's the great thing is Zach and I came up with a game plan on these episodes that we were going to do, and it's easier to do these when we have this give and take and we can have these conversations versus sitting here just trying to basically talk to no one.
Yeah.
And so I think that's another thing too, that if you're going to do it, and I mean, if it's just going to be a straight interview based podcast, like our previous guest, Arion, I mean, he does his is just all interviews
Yeah.
with people,
Which is great.
which is great.
His
Which
episodes are awesome.
Yeah. It's an unbelievable show. For us, like I said, we wanted to keep a variety. We wanted to have guests, but we also wanted to be able to talk among just the two of us. And so, if that goes back into the direction of the show and how you want the show to be, but if you're thinking about it, and I think it might be definitely might be easier to do it with another person.
Yeah, because it was like when I texted you to want to do this, it was I was intimidated by myself, and I was like, I wanted to have someone that, if I can't think of something to say, like, oh
Right.
God, I don't want the fucking show to just fall off. I don't want to sound stupid. Like, there's always times where, but then there's other times where like you and I both want to say something, and it's like, all right, I gotta let him go now.
Right.
Like I've been talking way too much. It's his turn. It's like you gotta
Yeah, but I feel like we
share
do.
it. We don't
do
ever,
it.
we do a
Yeah.
great job of that. I don't think we ever have that issue. But
No.
yeah, I could see it being a thing. But yeah, I mean, I look at podcasting as like I look at it like playing catch.
Mhm.
You need to have someone that's going to play catch with you.
Right.
And just have we've had we've had guests before where you kind of ask them something and it's the very short answer. You're
Right.
Like, okay. Well,
Okay, so how do we build on that?
yeah,
We'll go
yeah. I
from
gotta
there.
come on.
Like,
Let's dig some more out of
yeah.
there. Like you gotta take the. It's not exactly catch. It's like catch, hold the ball for a second.
Right.
And
Right.
then throw it back. But yeah, you just need to find someone that you play catch with.
Yeah. Well, no, that's a great analogy because, you're going to come up with creative questions on your own. I'm going to have creative questions that are going to allow us to dive in deeper with some of these conversations that we have with people that might have been missed had we not, had you tried to take this on by yourself.
Yeah.
So,
And I'm glad I didn't. I mean,
yeah, I'm glad you asked, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.